G'day guys, Kempo again here. Had a good week of sports last week. So I'm in my work outfit, got the surfboard on my left there, fighting against the car as usual. Pretty much, no, I didn't get to watch a whole lot last weekend. I betted on the NRL though, watched just saw the results and everything. I got 7 out of 8 right, which was pretty good. I want to get to 8 out of 8 eventually, but I don't know, it is what it is. 7 out of 8 is pretty bloody good though. So the only one I got wrong was Melbourne Storm versus the Roosters. I put Storm to win. Should have put the Roosters. Well, is what it is. I did say last week that Tuivasa versus Gun, that UFC night was last weekend, but no, it's this weekend coming up. And I'm actually, if you're a betting man, Gun is your guy, but I'm going to represent the Aussie boys, Whitaker and Ty, going to be my guys. Anyways, that's for the actual betting video coming up. Pretty much, not too much to talk about on the actual betting side. What I really wanted to talk about was a topic that gets a bit controversial, especially people who are hardcore fans of boxing compared to ones that like YouTube. I'm in the middle. I like hardcore boxing a lot, and I love YouTube a lot. Pretty much what I'm talking about here is the KSI Fight Night card. How I felt about it, because I've been following this since the start. I watched the first KSI event with Joe Weller. I didn't get to watch it live, but I watched it the next morning. Watched all the videos leading up to it. I was so excited. I watched the Logan Paul one. I watched the Logan Paul 2. I watched Logan Paul 2 live, which that was awesome. But it's because I was in America, it was a perfect timetable for us. It was, I've been following this for a long time. Been a huge fan of KSI, I'm a huge fan of Joe Weller, Logan. I've followed that scene for a long time. And I've always followed, I love the personalities, I've connected with them, I've grown up watching them. Some people say, have their feelings about them, to say they love him. Some people hate him and there's cringe and all that. I don't know. I felt when watching these people connect with them and they felt real. Maybe not certain ones, but they felt real to me. They were funny. You go through the hardships. Anyways, going with the boxing wise, the first few with the KSI sort of feel had awesome storyline. Then there was the ones afterwards, just like the Creator Clash and all those other ones or whatever they were called. I only just saw snippets because I lost interest. I was only interested in Deji, and I don't know, I didn't bother for them too much. But this one I was actually interested in because it was KSI coming back, Deji was fighting again, FaZe Sensei, which I love watching as well. All of them were coming back. The whole card actually looked quite interesting. It was on DAZN, which they hadn't done since the Logan Paul KSI 2 fight. So I was actually quite surprised that it's called the X series. So I was quite surprised they were doing that. And I've seen both sides, the hardcore saying, oh, what the hell is this? And the other side saying, oh, this is amazing. It's like, look, there's pros and cons of both of it. There's hardcore's fair enough. The skill level isn't there. You don't want to be parading the sport in a bad way. You want to show respect where the sport is. And then the other side is these guys are taking it seriously and they're promoting the sport. There's those two ways looking at it, and I feel like as long as you get the certain ones like KSI, the ones that are real focused, like these guys on this particular card looked like they took it very seriously in the actual training sense. Like King Kenny versus FaZe Sensei was probably the most technical one they had. Not too excited, but it was real technical. I was like, actually, this looks pretty good, like amateur-wise. The other ones, there was all knockouts, like Salt Puppy, KSI knocked out both these guys, but he probably had the worst opponents, the whole thing. Besides the heavyweights, the 2 heavyweight boys, that was terrible. But it was all pretty much all knockouts and stoppages besides the FaZe versus King Kenny one. But what I took away from it was actually this was, even if a small percentage of these people go and watch hardcore boxing afterwards or go learn boxing, that's a good thing for the sport. Because the sport had been going downhill, unless you're a hardcore fan, it's hard to get into it. It really takes a lot of work to find when's what. It takes work to actually get into it. So if you show these kids who love these guys, or people my age, whatever, that demographic, the sport, and then they actually fall in love with it, that's a good thing. And for this card, it was actually awesome because there was a lot of knockouts. There was actually some technical ability, and you saw the journey of these people getting here and the happiness they get afterwards. It was awesome to see. I'm kind of mixing where I'm going with this conversation, but pretty much I got to watch all the fights in the morning. My favorite one was probably, I don't know, they're all good. No, actually, my favorite one was probably the FaZe Sensei King Kenny because of how technical it was. King Kenny was a long jab, FaZe working, trying to get in the inside. FaZe did get robbed. He should have won that. He got a standing 8 count, which should have been a 10-8 round anyway. Second round, I think King Kenny won that one. And then third was Sensei, I reckon, and then fourth was King Kenny. But I think FaZe did the most damage. King Kenny did a lot of jabs. Oh, well, they're not bothered by it. Fuzi versus Deji, which he wants to call himself Yusuf, was quite funny because Yusuf was like talking all this smack before, and I was really buying it for quite a while. And I was thinking, but Deji does look different this time, with all his defeats. And Deji, man, this is where Deji needed to be from the start. You could see he had the most potential out of a lot of fighters, a lot of those guys that actually have real boxing talent. And he finally displayed it against Fuzi. It was his reach, his distance managing was incredible. Just out of reach. Literally just out. And as soon as Fuzi would throw a little bit, came with the bang bang. Like the 1-2 piece. And then every now and then 3 piece. And then then he dropped him. Then didn't get too overexcited. Still worked in until the referee was like, cool. And that's another thing. The refereeing was actually quite decent. Well, it's two ways. They were decent in the sense of safety. They were, as soon as someone get buzzed, standing 8 count. Which, if you're going to give these guys a professional bout, okay, I get it, you want to keep them safe, but this is a professional. If you've got to give them the professional experience, in my opinion, should have let them go a little longer, especially if they're working towards a knockdown. Like, I know they get the points of standing 8 count, but I don't know. Safety-wise, incredible, but for a real professional boxing experience, it could have gone on a bit longer in certain ones. But, yeah, anyway. FaZe Sensei one was my favorite fight. KSI executions, that's what I'm calling them, the executions, just obliterated both of them. It was yeah, it was just, you still don't know. Like, you can tell JJ now is more balanced on his feet. He actually throws more than a fucking overhand right, which is quite cool. But you still don't know where he's at because the 2 people he fought were shit. But he saved the card. He was supposed to fight Wasabi. That fell through. He was supposed to fight the white supremacist. That fell through. And then they finally got Swarms. But then he realized it wasn't enough for the fans. Got 2 people. So I can say what you want about it, like the 2 people. It was entertaining. And he saved the card. The FaZe Tampa and Slim one, that was a cool one. That was a good knockout. That was a proper knockout as well. Nearly flatlined him. But yeah, overall, probably one of the better YouTube, one of the better ones. Yeah, definitely one of the better YouTube boxing events in quite a while. I don't know, it's a bit of fun. If you're a fan of the KSI and the YouTubers, definitely cool to watch that. But that's really what I was watching this weekend. But next weekend, I've got some predictions for you. All right, catch you guys in the next video.